Hi, I'm Marcus. Welcome to Intro to Mat Pilates Class 2. For this class, all you need is a mat or two mats, like what I've done. And you will also need two yoga blocks if you have some hip mobility issues. So I'm going to put the yoga blocks aside for now. We will begin this class lying down. So go ahead, get comfortable and lie down. In lying down, you want your heels close to your sit bones and you relax. Have the tailbone sinking into the floor. Have a sense of your spine as you're lying down. Is the lower ribs contacting the mat? Is the back of the head contacting the mat? How comfortable are you in this position? How comfortable are your shoulders? The back of your shoulders in contact with the floor. Take an inhale, elongate the spine. As you exhale, you're going to tilt the tailbone towards the belly button and continue to tilt it as you float your pelvis off, bringing your spine up one bone at a time as you send the knees to the opposite wall, bridging. Inhale here, exhale and you melt, one bone at a time. And then you center your pelvis again. Inhale, always remember elongating the spine. Have a sense of more space in between the bones of your spine. Exhale, maintaining the length in the spine. You're going to curl the tailbone towards the belly button. Start floating the pelvis off. Float one bone off from the spine, one bone off at a time, and float the knees off, sending it to the opposite wall. Create a diagonal shape from the knees to the back of the shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale, and you start melting down one bone at a time. Again, you want to create more and more space in between the vertebrae of our spine. Therefore, we're doing this. Pay attention to bridging up one bone at a time. And again, inhale, exhale, curling. See if you can create even more space and bridge up literally one bone at a time. Send the sit bones through the knees as you send the knees to the opposite wall. Continue to bridge all the way up until the lower tips of your shoulder blades. Keep the front of the ribcage soft. Stay here. For more activation of the hamstrings, you can drag the heels in towards your shoulders. You should feel a stronger activation in the hamstrings now. Inhale to the back of the ribcage. And exhale, start melting upper back, mid back, lower back, and your tailbone. Going to repeat that one more time, and then we're going to add on inhale, exhale, curling the tailbone under, imprinting the lower back first before you start floating the pelvis off. Connect sit bones to the knees and send the knees away to the opposite wall. At the top here, you're going to drag the heels in slightly so that you engage the hamstrings even more. Now we're going to float the right leg off into tabletop. Keep both hips elevated. Inhale, you lower down. Exhale, left leg floats off. Inhale, lower down. The more you drag the heel in of the other leg, the grounding leg, the more stable your entire hips shall be. Other leg. The imagery is there are two helium balloons holding onto your hip bones, and you float one leg up, still keeping your pelvis at that same level. Last one. And the final one. Soften your ribcage. Breathe into the back of the ribs. And you start melting one bone at a time. Hamstring work. Tailbone relaxed. Good. The next exercise, we're going to now work with the arms. So inhale, inhale, lengthen your arms and reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Stay with your fingers pointing towards the ceiling. And now pay attention to your shoulder blades. With your inhalation, can you think about poking the ceiling with your fingers? With your exhalation, you want to draw the shoulder blades down back into the mat. Inhale, poke the ceiling. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades down. One more time. Exhale, down. Stay here. We're just going to do our breath. So pay attention to your spine when we do this. When we inhale, we send the head and tail in opposite directions. When we exhale, we keep the length in the spine, but soften the ribcage. Attention. Pay your attention to the lower back, bringing awareness of the space behind your lower back. Imagine a grape resting just under your lower back. You will just rest on top of it. You will not lift away from it, nor will you flatten the grape. So you want to keep that grape space. Inhale again, elongate your spine. Exhale, reach both arms overhead. Funnel your ribcage down towards the pelvis. And keep your hands don't have to touch the floor. Important, the moment you feel that you're arching, meaning you're lifting away from the grip, you stop. And then inhale, come back towards the ceiling. Exhale, reaching both arms up and overhead. Go to that moment when you feel like you're about to arch your back and you stop. Inhale, coming back up. Now pay attention to your shoulders. As you exhale to reach up and over, can you have a sense of your shoulders gently drawing down towards your hips so that you elongate the space between your shoulders and your neck, your shoulders and your ears. Inhale, coming up. Once again, exhale, draw the shoulders away from the ears as your fingers reach long in an arc. Inhale, coming back. And then now, we are going to alternate. Exhale, reach one arm overhead as the other arm goes towards the hips. Inhale, coming back up, palms facing each other. Exhale, switch. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, switch. Inhale, up. And exhale, switch. Inhale up. As you do this movement, I want you to pay attention to how your arms are actually connected to your trunk at the armpits, and how through the armpits it is actually connected to the rib cage, and it goes all the way towards the pelvis. Have a sense of that connection. It is important to do this exercise because it teaches us how to have good shoulder organization. And this is how we raise our hands up when we try to reach for something that's placed on a high shelf. So we are training ourselves how to do this movement safely in this lying down position. Bring both arms up towards the ceiling once again. And then exhale, you reach both arms all the way down. And you rest. Next exercise, we're going to bring our legs to tabletop, one leg at a time. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale, bring one leg up to tabletop. And then exhale again, bring the other leg back to tabletop. Connect the legs, the knees and the feet. Hold on to the back of the thighs, close the knees. Inhale, elongating the spine again. Exhale, gently soften your rib cage and your throat. Curl up into a chest lift. In chest lift, you're just curling up to the lower tips of your shoulder blades. Keep gazing in between your inner thighs as you draw your shoulder blades down. Elbows are wide instead of close to the body. Keep them wide. Inhale here. Exhale. Start dipping your toes away as you continue to pull with your arms at the back of the thighs. Maintaining that C curve, you curl up. Sit tall, finding your sitting bones. Stack your spine up once again. Sit tall. Exhale. Roll behind your sit bones. Curl the tailbone towards the belly button. Send the knees away. Keep gazing forward, rounding in your spine. And you slowly float your feet off, but you keep the feet very heavy dangling so that you can continue to pull with your arms. Also keep engaging in the abdominals. Keep that round curve here so that you can continue to roll all the way down. Assisted roll down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, send the legs away. Float up into a chest lift. Stay here for a moment. Inhale to the back of the ribs. Exhale, float your feet down towards the floor. Dip it down towards the floor. Keep gazing in between your inner thighs. When the heels reach the floor, you sit tall, find the sitting bones, and stack your spine up. Exhale, curling, slight pushing of the feet away. Knees send diagonally towards the wall. Curl behind your sit bones, tailbone close towards your belly button. And keep gazing forward as you slowly float off. And you roll back down. This is called assisted roll down. It's quite a nice, lovely feeling. Inhale. Exhale, reaching the legs away. And soften your chest, curl up. Reach the feet down towards the floor. Maintain that C curve. And then you curl back up. Great. Next exercise, we will transition by going down. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale, rolling all the way down. Tailbone is tucking towards the belly button. Keep that C curve. Slowly roll back. Hug your knees close to your chest for a while. And then bring one leg down, bring the other leg down. You can walk your legs slightly further away from the sit bones, but still have the heels in line with the sit bones. For this exercise, I recommend that your arms be slightly open, as if you're creating the letter A. The next exercise is called bent knee opening. So from here, we're going to take an inhale and open the knees towards the floor. And then exhale, you close the knees by drawing the inner thighs together. Inhale, you open the knees out by spiraling the inner thighs out. And then you rest on the knife edge, the outside edge of your feet. Exhale, you close the knees by closing the inner thighs. If you want to feel how it's like, you can place your hands next to your thighs. As you inhale, you're going to spiral the inner thighs out, but use your hands to give yourself that resistance so that you know that you're engaging your inner thighs to open your legs out. And then when you exhale, place your hands on the inner thighs so that now you're using your inner thighs to come in. Inhale, use your out resist against the outer thighs. And then exhale, resist against the inner thighs. Great. And then from here, we're going to do single leg. Let's start with the right leg. So keeping the left leg where it is, you want to ground the left foot towards the floor. And you inhale, open only the right knee towards the floor. As you do that, can you still keep your pelvis centered? So you only go as far as you can keep your pelvis centered. Exhale, coming back. Inhale, opening the left side. Again, keeping the pelvis centered. Exhale, use the inner thighs to bring the left leg back. Inhale, right side. Focus on the hip mobility and exhale, coming back in. Other side, left side. Exhale, coming back. One more time. So how to know whether your pelvis is stable? Imagine there's a bowl of water on your pelvis. And when you open your right knee out to the side, the bowl of water shouldn't tilt to the right. If you feel that the water is spilling, that means you've tilted. Come back to that neutral position, centered, and back. Left leg. Inhale, open, making sure that you only go as far as the bowl of water maintains unspilled and stable. And exhale, you come back without shaking the bowl of water. Good. So that was a prep for the next exercise, which is side to side. Now, for this one, you can close the legs together. So knees and feet can close together. Still maintaining about a 90-degree angle at the knees. Arms are still about a figure of A, letter A. fingers pointed away from your spine. You're going to inhale, rock both knees to the right, rock all the way until it reaches the floor, and you can turn your head towards the left. Exhale, lead with the pelvis to come back to the center and your head centers as well. Inhale, floating both knees towards the left side, all the way down as you turn your head towards the right. Exhale, leading with the pelvis to come back to the center, the head rocks back to the center. One more time on each side. Warming up our oblique abdominals for the exercise that follows. Exhale, coming back. Also reminding ourselves that in the exercise that follows, we're actually spiraling the spine, rotating the spine around its axis. Come back to the center. Float one leg to tabletop. Float the other leg to tabletop. This time, keep your gaze at the ceiling. And you want to keep the same height at the knees. Inhale. You're going to bring the knee towards the right. You don't have to bring the knee towards the floor, but you only go as far as your left shoulder blades maintain on the floor. Exhale, center. Inhale, floating the knees towards the left. Only go as far as your right shoulder blades maintain on the floor. Exhale, coming back. Inhale, floating towards the right. Send the top knee, your left knee, over your right knee so that they are in alignment. Exhale, coming back. Inhale, sending your right knee over the left knee as you rotate towards the left. Exhale, coming back. So this will give you a good slim waistline, but it will also help you to strengthen your abdominals and create relieve some of the tension in your lower back. Come back to the center. Rest the legs down, one leg at a time. Great work. Rest is over. Inhale, elongating the spine. Exhale, float the left leg up to tabletop. Inhale. Exhale, floating the right leg to tabletop. Send the knees away. And you want to think about now controlling the knees from the abdominal area. Have your arms, fingers reaching long again. As you inhale, you float float both knees towards the right side. Rotate from the pelvis. And then from here, extend the top leg, your left knee. Inhale to bend. Exhale, coming back to the center. Inhale, floating both legs towards the left. Keep both knees in line with each other, so the top knee has to reach further away. Exhale, lengthen the top leg, and bend. Inhale, center. I think I got the breath mixed up. Let's try again. Inhale, rotate towards the right. Exhale, lengthen the top leg. Inhale to bend the top leg. Exhale, back to the center. Inhale, floating both knees towards the left, sending the top knee further up. Exhale, lengthen the top leg. Inhale to bend. Exhale, back to the center. Adding on. Inhale, rotate towards the right, rotating through the pelvis, the sacrum. Exhale, lengthening both legs. Inhale to bend. Exhale, back to the center. Inhale towards the left. Exhale, lengthening both legs. Inhale, bend both knees. Exhale, back to the center. One more time. Inhale towards the right. Exhale, lengthen both legs so long. Inhale to bend. Exhale, coming back to the center. Inhale towards the left. Exhale, lengthen both legs so long. Back, bend, come back to the center. Challenge. Inhale towards the right. Exhale, lengthen both legs. Keep both legs long. Come back, rotate through the spine. And sweep your legs to the opposite side, keeping the opposite shoulder blades on the floor. Exhale, coming back, sweeping it. Inhale, sweeping it out again. Exhale, coming back. One more time on the other side. Exhale, sweeping back. Bend both knees. Reach one leg down towards the floor. Reach the other leg down towards the floor. Okay. The next exercise. Before that, okay. So before that, because we've worked a lot on our hips, let's give it some softness. So you can bring your legs close together and then open your knees out to the side and then just kind of shake it a little bit. And then bring your knees back together. This time, open your legs out, your feet out as wide as the mat. And just stay here for a moment. Let there be some softening at the hip joints. Walk your legs back in parallel position. Separate your knees. And from here, we're going to transition. Reach your right hand up towards the ceiling. Reach overhead. Roll to your side, as in roll to your right side. And now you're in a side lying position. So in side lying, your arms can be extended, or you can have your elbows bent, support your neck. The other arm, the top arm, you place it in front of you, and you want to think about tractioning the palm, the heel of the palm towards your feet. Your knees are bent. Have a sense of your heels being in line with your sit bones and your spine. Imagine that there's a wall right behind you, and you're literally just lying right in front of it. Good. Inhale, elongating the spine. Oh, before that, pay attention to the waistline, okay? So you want to keep this waistline kind of lifted off from the floor so that if you place your hands behind, you should be able to just slide your fingers through. Lengthen both hips away so that you keep that elongation. Have your front of the ribs very soft. Now that we got the alignment, inhale, elongating the spine, meaning sending your head and your tail in opposite directions. Exhale, float your left leg off to tabletop position, away from your bottom leg. So you want to keep the same level, the heel, the knee, and the hip, same level. If there are 3 cups of tea, one at the heel, one at the knee, and one at the hip joint, those 3 cups of tea will not spill. Inhale, you're going to send the leg forward, keeping the knees bent, and exhale, moving from the thigh bone, you're going to send the leg back. Inhale, exhale. Keep looking straight ahead to keep your spine elongated. And exhale. Coming back. If the cups of tea don't work for you, then imagine that you are resting the top leg against a very, very soft tofu. So as you inhale, you're sliding your leg on top of that soft tofu. Exhale, you're sliding it back on top of that soft tofu. Inhale as you slide your leg forward from the thigh bone. Exhale, you're going to use the thigh bone again to slide the leg back. One more time. Exhaling back. Bring it back to center. Let your leg rest. And then pushing yourself up into a sitting position. So just now, we worked on the left leg. Now we're going to sit in what we call the mermaid or Z-sit position. Your right leg is you're opening the right hip out and your left hip is internally rotated. So this is how you sit. Have the knee pointing forward rather than pointing out to the side. Have a sense of the sit bones. When you're in this position, are both sit bones level? If not, if you feel that it's very tight, meaning if, say, for example, this side is very lifted off from the floor, then having a yoga block will help. If you need a yoga block, you'll sit on a block on the right side, meaning the leg where you're externally rotating at the hip. Okay, meaning this leg. Hang on. Let me adjust the position. Yeah. That way, you give this sit bone, this hip area, a bit of space, and you can allow it to just sink towards the floor. Inhale, reach your arms up to the side. Exhale, sorry. So now this is quite a high prop. So for the next exercise, I actually recommend, if you have a prop, you have another prop for this hand. Okay. Inhale, elongating your arms to the side. Exhale, think about lengthening from the head, growing tall and over. You come into your side bend. And then exhale, you lead from the ribcage and you come back to the center. So inhale, leading from the head, grow tall, up and over towards your right side. And then exhale, you lead from the ribcage to come down. That's the sensation. We're going to add on a little bit more awareness. Inhale, grow up and over, side bend towards your right, ground the right hand towards the prop or the floor. And then push into the floor as you inhale. Think about the left ribcage fanning open, like a Chinese fan, opening. So inhale, pushing into the right arm as you continue to side bend. Reach the top fingers away, but keep both shoulders down. Exhale, again, closing the rib cage, and then you come back. One more time. Inhale, up and over. And then push. Exhale, drawing the ribcage down, and then your spine up, neck up. Go once to the opposite direction, and we come back. We're going to add on. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, side bend towards the right. Take another inhale to expand the top ribcage, fan it open. Exhale, you're going to think about drawing the upper arm down, imagining that someone is trying to shake your hand from behind, so you want to shake that person's hand. But you look at your right hand that's grounded on the floor. Inhale, you come back into your side bend. Exhale, pivot your right arm so that the fingers now point towards the front. You rotate your rib cage so that your breastbone faces the floor, but your arm keeps reaching back. Inhale, coming back in to that side bend. One last time, exhale, rotating, pivoting the right arm on the floor, fingers pointing forward as your left hand reaches back to shake the hand of someone behind you. Inhale, coming back into your side bend. And then exhale, you're going to come back from the rib cage. And then back into your T-arms position. Inhale, long side bend to the opposite side, counter stretch. And we come back up. Remove the block if you have a block. Have your arms to the side. Lean towards the right side. Lengthen your left leg. Bring it in front of you. Cross-legged sit once. Your arms open up to the side. Inhale. Exhale, curl. Inhale, open. Exhale, a soft curl, soft elbows bending. Keeping your collarbones wide though. Open to the side. And then we're going to transition again. This time, we're going to transition into lying down. Our side sit-up, our side lying leg kick. So lie down. Let me adjust my mic. Okay. Now you're lying down on your left side. Find that wall behind you again. Heels in line with sit bones. Knees bent about 90 degrees. Elbows bent or extended. Bent would be recommended. Keep your ribcage softly closed. Stack both hips up and send them away from the hip. Top arm is in front of you with the heels dragging towards the thighs. Inhale, elongating your spine. Exhale, floating your right leg off. Remembering the 3 cups of tea, one at the hip, the knee, and the ankle, keeping them very stable. Inhale, think about moving from the thigh bone, and you send the leg forward. Exhale, send the leg back. Inhale, controlling the movement using your thigh bone. Exhale, sending the leg back. Keep your gaze forward. And exhale. Your body is still leaning in front, your body is still leaning against that wall. So you keep your trunk very stable. Inhale again. Exhale, come back. And back to the center, floating the legs down. From here, push yourself up into a mermaid sit position again. So this time your left leg is open to the side with the left knee, left lower leg crossed in front of you, parallel to the mat. And then your right leg at the hip, you're internally rotating. And the knees are pointing to the front. So again, have a sense, are both sit bones contacting the floor? Is one side more hiked up compared to the other? So for me, I also need something under my left sit bone. So I'm going to take the props. So with the block, you want to place it under the left sit bone. This one, not this one. This one is hiking up. We want to elevate this one so that this sit bone can drop. We can relax this hip. Now, even in this position, we want to still imagine that wall behind us. When we were lying down, there was a wall behind us. Now, when we're sitting tall, we also have a wall right behind us. So your entire spine, the pelvis, the back of your rib cage, as well as the back of your head is contacting that wall. Inhale, float the arms up into capital T position. Keep your hands in the peripheral vision. So arms are slightly in front of the shoulders, not all the way to the side. Keep them slightly in front. Now we're going to inhale. Again, think about the crown going up and over. And we side bend. Exhale. We're going to lead with this rib cage. Bring us back down. Inhale. And exhale. As you side bend, the right hip bone continues to travel down towards the floor, meaning this one is continuously tractioning down towards the floor as you open up the right rib cage to the side. Stay here We're going to press into the left arm so that we can open up the top rib cage even more. Keep both shoulder blades sliding down towards the spine, towards the hips. And exhale, you come back. Going to the other side, long side bend to the other side. Coming back. One more time. Inhale. We grow up and over. Opening up the top rib cage. This time, we're going to pivot the left hand and then spiral the right arm under. Look at the left hand as your right hand reaches back to shake the hand of someone behind you. Inhale, coming back into that side bend. Exhale, back towards that rotation. Breastbone pointing towards the floor. Inhale again. Spiral your rib cage towards the front. Shoulder blades are always down. Keep your neck long. And exhale. One last time. Inhale back into that side bend. And then we come up, leading from the rib cage. Stack your spine back up. And then once more, counter stretch to your right side. And you come back. Remove the props. Lean onto your left side. Lengthen your right leg really long. Bring it forward. Coming back into a cross-sitting position, cross-legged sitting position. Bring your arms out to the side again. Have your hands in your peripheral vision. You can see it from the corner of your eyes. Exhale, a soft curl. Rounding your spine as you create a second circle with your arms. Inhale, open. Exhale, again, rounding your spine, gently nodding your chin so that your throat, your gaze is at your pubic bone. Inhale, open. Then we transition. So we're going to transition into a lying down position on your belly. So let me adjust my mic again. So you're lying down on your belly. Remember, when you're lying down on your belly, because we're going to go into some back workout to strengthen our back. So we want to think about that beach. You're lying on a beach and you're lifting your belly button away from the hot sand so that you lengthen your lower back. Have your hands by your chest, elbows pointing back rather than to the side. Point them back. By sense, you will feel that your shoulder blades are snug against your ribcage at the back and they're drawing down towards your hips. Hover your face off from the mat. Imagining a marble under your nose. Inhale, you're going to roll the marble away with your nose. And just curl up until you're looking at the front of the mat. And you're just resting on the lower ribs. Exhale, you come back. Inhale, roll the marble away, slightly opening your throat, shine your chest forward as you arch into the lower ribs. Exhale, coming back. One more time. Inhale, roll the marble away. One bone at a time, opening your throat, shine your breastbone forward, and come up just until the lower ribs. Exhale, lower down. Now, when you do this movement, there shouldn't be any compression in the lower back. So remind yourself once again, lift your belly button away from the hot sand. We're going to add on. Inhale, rolling the marble away, opening the throat, shine your breastbone forward, roll up to the lower ribs, draw your shoulder blades down, push into the hands, and come up into a swan. So push yourself up until you're resting on your knees. Gaze is forward, chest is shining forward. Exhale, you lower down your thighs. Pubic bone touches the floor. Lower ribs, breastbone, and your gaze goes down towards the floor. And again, inhale. Opening your throat, shine your breastbone forward. Start pressing with the heels of your palm towards the floor and continue to push towards the floor. Slide your shoulder blades down. Come up into a swan. Exhale, thigh bones come down. Belly button come down. Sternum and throat. And then your gaze. Focus on segmental spine mobility. So inhale, rolling the marble away first, and then shining your throat forward, shine your heart forward. Slight pushing off the floor with the heels of the palms. Rib cage lifts off, push into the floor, shoulder blades slide down. Keep gazing forward, push until you're, on your knees. And then exhale, lower down, knees down, thighs down, pubic bone down, breastbone down, arms down. And from here, we're going to just do it one more time. Inhale. And you're going to roll up. Push all the way up into that swan position. Make sure that you still connect your pubic bone to your belly button. And then releasing your sit bones, push your pelvis up. And then you're going to transition into a child's pose. In child's pose, you want to keep sending the tailbone down towards the floor. And you open up your lower back. Inhale into the lower back. Soften in the front and inhale into the lower back. And exhale, transition. Come into your low kneeling position. And then comes the spine stretch. So from your low kneeling, you can swing your legs forward, come into a side sit, and then swing your legs forward. Now, you have options. If your hamstrings are tight, meaning if you find that sitting in a long sit position and having your spine long is a challenge, then feel free to prop yourself up in this position so that your focus can be it's easier for you to have an elongated spine. Yeah, even for me, I find that it's easier. So sit bones ground towards the floor, head is elongating towards the ceiling. Again, imagining that there is a wall behind you, or you know what, let's actually use the wall because we actually have a wall here. So there's the wall. We sit really tall against that wall. Have the heels aiming away. Raise your arms to shoulder level. Inhale, elongating your spine against that wall. Exhale, you start peeling your head off from the wall, and then one bone at a time, you're going to continue peeling and roll forward. You only roll forward until your lower ribs. You want to keep your lower back against that wall. Stay here. Inhale to the upper back, the space between the shoulder blades. Exhale, curling up. Stacking your spine up one bone at a time. Again, imagining that there's a durian right in front of your belly. Inhale, growing tall. Exhale, you peel your head off, and one bone at a time peeling off from the wall. Because there's a durian, you don't want to collapse into that durian. You want to continue to roll up and over that durian as you reach forward and away. So you have to keep drawing your abdominal in, your belly button in and up towards the towards the diaphragm. Inhale to the back of the ribcage. Exhale, curling up one bone at a time. This is called the spine stretch. So it's not about how far you can go. Exhale, softening your ribcage. Flex your heels so you can really stretch the entire back of your body. Roll forward. Stacking your spine up. One bone at a time. One last one. Inhale, growing tall. Exhale, softening. And you start nodding your head. One bone at a time, peeling off from the wall. Arms are relaxed, shoulders are drawn down, shoulder blades sliding down. Send the heels away. Look in between your inner thighs. And for a bigger stretch, really draw the belly button in and up. Inhale to the space between your shoulder blades, your upper back. And exhale, curling up one bone at a time. Relax your arms on the side. Sit away from the wall. If you have a wall next to you. And that's it for Introduction to Mat Pilates Class 2. I hope you enjoyed this exercise series. There will be 2 more classes on basic Pilates. So if you find that you have learned something from my classes and you'd like to learn from me, do reach out to me. I can be contacted via my email, Facebook, or Instagram. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.